I found out my husband was cheating on our wedding day. So I decided to give him a wedding gift he'd never forget. This is the story of how I exposed him in front of 200 guests and why everyone at that wedding now calls me a legend. Hey everyone, I'm Sarah, and I'm here to tell you the most insane story of my life. People always ask me if I regret what I did. My answer? Not for a single second. Grab your popcorn because this gets wild. So, let me take you back to 3 years ago. I was 28, planning my dream wedding to my fiancé of 4 years, Michael. And I mean dream wedding. We're talking $80,000, a vineyard venue, designer dress, the works. I had been planning this day since I was a little girl, and Michael seemed just as excited as I was. Or so I thought. It was the morning of my wedding. I woke up at 5 a.m. in the bridal suite at the hotel, surrounded by my bridesmaids. My phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. I almost ignored it. I had a million things to do, but something told me to open it. You deserve to know the truth before you marry him. Check the attached photos. My heart stopped. Attached were 5 photos of Michael. With my maid of honor, Jessica. My best friend since college. The photos were from the night before, our rehearsal dinner night, and they were explicit. They were at a hotel. His hotel room. The room where he was supposed to be having one last night of peaceful sleep before our big day. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My bridesmaids rushed over, asking what was wrong. I showed them my phone. The room went silent except for one of them saying, "Oh my God, Sarah, what are you going to do?" Here's where most people would cancel the wedding, right? Scream, cry, call it off, get their money back if possible. But in that moment, looking at those photos, something clicked in my brain. Cold. Calculated. Furious. I had spent $80,000 on this wedding. My parents had flown in from overseas. 200 guests had traveled from different states. The venue was paid for. The food was paid for. Everything was non-refundable. And Michael and Jessica had humiliated me the night before my wedding. So I smiled. I'm getting married today, I said. And I'm going to make sure everyone remembers this wedding. My bridesmaids looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Maybe I had. But I started giving instructions. Someone needs to get that slideshow USB from the videographer. I need to make a small addition to the reception presentation. See, we had planned this beautiful slideshow of our relationship to play during dinner, photos of us through the years, romantic music, the whole 9 yards. I spent the next 2 hours editing that slideshow on my laptop. I kept all our photos, all the sweet moments. But at the very end, I added those 5 photos of Michael and Jessica. And a final slide that said, "Cheers to the happy couple." And to my husband's mistress, my maid of honor Jessica. Congratulations on your affair. I walked down that aisle with a smile on my face. I looked beautiful, that dress cost $8,000 and I was going to wear it. Michael stood at the altar looking nervous. He probably thought I didn't know. Jessica stood next to me as my maid of honor, fixing my train, whispering, "You look so beautiful." The audacity. We said our vows. I almost laughed when Michael promised to be faithful. We exchanged rings. The officiant pronounced us husband and wife. Michael kissed me, and I smiled thinking about what was coming. The reception started. Everyone was drinking, dancing, having a great time. Michael kept trying to talk to Jessica, shooting her nervous glances. She looked pale. They both knew something was wrong with me, but they couldn't figure out what. Then came dinner. The lights dimmed for our slideshow. The romantic music started. Photos of Michael and me flashed across the screen, our first date, vacations, him proposing. Everyone was smiling, some people tearing up. And then the photos changed. The room went dead silent. There on the massive projection screen were crystal clear photos of Michael and Jessica. In bed. Half naked. Kissing. The timestamp clearly showed last night 11:47 p.m. Then the final slide, "Cheers to the happy couple." And to my husband's mistress, my maid of honor Jessica. Congratulations on your affair. For about 5 seconds, nobody moved. Then chaos. Michael jumped up, screaming, "Turn it off." Jessica was crying, trying to run out, but my bridesmaid blocked the door. Michael's mother started shrieking. My father stood up and I swear I've never seen him look so angry. Michael's best man literally said, "Bro, what the fuck?" But I just stood up, grabbed the microphone, and said, "I received these photos this morning. I decided we'd all paid too much money for this wedding to let it go to waste. So thank you all for coming. Enjoy the open bar, the food is excellent, and please, take your party favors on the way out. As for the honeymoon tickets to Bali, Michael, I hope you and Jessica enjoy them. They're in her name now. I called and changed them this afternoon." Then I grabbed a bottle of champagne, linked arms with my bridesmaids, and walked out of my own wedding reception. The fallout was nuclear. The video went viral, someone had recorded the whole thing and it got 20 million views. Michael's family demanded I annul the marriage immediately. I said I'd be happy to, for $80,000, the exact cost of the wedding. Michael's parents paid it within a week. They were so humiliated they just wanted it gone. Jessica lost her job because her boss saw the video and said she lacked character. Michael got fired too because he worked at a family-owned business and his boss was at the wedding. They tried to stay together out of spite, but broke up 3 months later. As for me, I took that $80,000 and went on a solo trip around the world for 6 months. Best money I ever spent. I'm now married to an amazing man who would never dream of cheating, and we laugh about this story all the time. The unknown number that sent me the photos? It was from Michael's ex-girlfriend. She had seen him with Jessica weeks earlier and decided to wait until the perfect moment to expose him. I sent her a thank you gift, a very expensive bottle of wine. People ask me if I'm proud of what I did, if I think it was too harsh. Here's my answer: Michael and Jessica made their choice the night before my wedding. They humiliated me in private. I just made sure everyone else knew who they really were. That wedding cost $80,000 and 8 months of planning. They didn't get to walk away like nothing happened. The best part: every time someone Googles Michael's name, that video is the first thing that pops up. I've heard he's had trouble dating because women recognize him. Jessica moved to another state. As for me, I got my money back, I got my revenge, and I got the last laugh. And that, my friends, is how you turn the worst day of your life into the most legendary wedding anyone has ever seen. Would I recommend this approach? That's up to you. But I'll tell you this, I have zero regrets. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button because trust me, I've got more stories where this came from. Until next time, remember, never underestimate a woman with nothing left to lose in a PowerPoint presentation.